Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another Lazy Show where we teach you AutoCAD in a way that is more productive so you can stop wasting your time. As always, we show up here each Sunday. Not Sunday. We used to show up here each Sunday, but now we're showing up each Thursday at 10 p.m., and that is Pennsylvania in the United States time. So, if your time is important, consider joining us each Thursday again with a new way to save time in AutoCAD. So, we're gonna start with today's presentation right away. Hope you are doing great today. So, let me start sharing my screen over here so we can start today's presentation. All right. Um, okay. So today, of course, you can interrupt me or stop me at any time with your questions, with your suggestions, or anything you wanna ask. And by the end of the presentation, we're also gonna have a moment to do some Q&A. So you might have any AutoCAD related questions that you might need help with. So maybe I can also help. All right. So today we're gonna talk about attributes and show you or demonstrate you some of the benefits of using attributes instead of regular text. All right. So for people who don't know what are attributes, what I'm talking about, maybe they are new to AutoCAD or um, so attributes basically are smart piece of text, right? That can be utilized by itself or also can be added to blocks. Um, for example, um, here we have a block. This is a title um, name block over here. And if we go over here under the property palette, you can see that's a block reference. But the beauty of using attributes is that that's the only way to edit text information or data inside a block. Um, if we use a regular text inside a block, we wouldn't be able to edit that text. Like here, for instance, if we just double click on that piece of text, that's an attribute that you can see over here. It says enhance attribute editor, and meaning I can change my text and update my block quickly and easily, like so. So, we have created on the channel many videos related to attributes, but today we're gonna go over some of the benefits, right? My goal uh, of today's presentation is that by the end of this presentation, if you never use attributes, um, you're gonna start using it after I demonstrate you all of the benefits, all right? So let's start with the benefit number one of attributes. And this is gonna be um, the, let me close this over here a little bit so you can see better. All right. So one of the first benefits of using attributes instead of regular text is that if we use attributes, we have the option that when we mirror our block with the attributes using the mirror command, um, we're gonna have or we're gonna be able to Um, of course, here the attributes is reading backwards, but if we use a system variable, so let me erase this, called um, mirror text, right? We select that option and set it to 0. uh, we will be able to mirror our attribute block using the regular mirror command. And as you can see, our text will maintain its readability. Um, so that's one of the advantages of using attributes instead of text, in this case inside a block. Right? So, second, um, when we mm, edit information, let's say, for instance, let me explode this attribute. Um, of course, instead of exploding it with the regular explode command, you're gonna see what's gonna happen if I use the explode command. I will lose all of my information, as you can see it right here. So we don't want to explode attribute blocks. What we want to do is use the burst command, and this way we can maintain the information, as you can see right there. Now I want to quickly create a block using regular text. As you can see, that's a text, is not an attribute anymore. So look what happens if I create a block from this geometry, right? Let me call this test one, and right there. So the second advantage of attributes, and the reason why I created this block with a text inside, is because we cannot edit this text inside a block. The only way to edit it is by getting inside the block, and that way we can update our text. But you can imagine, in a professional level, you don't want to be doing this, um, getting inside your blog to edit your text information. So that's the other advantage again of using attributes, quickly able to edit information. uh, all right, so that's the second benefit of using attributes compared to regular text, especially inside blocks. Now, let's go with the third benefit of using attributes, and that is the ability to update multiple information at once. For example, let's say I create a new sheet. So I'm gonna duplicate this layout using or holding the control key on my keyboard and release it like so. So let's say I create an S10 layout name like so. And of course, all of my um, drawing title blocks will be run, as you can see. So what I can do is select all of my blocks containing the attributes like so, and going to the properties over here, I could change them all at once. I can type here S dash 10 and pressing enter. And as you can see, all of them were updated immediately. So I didn't have to do it one by one. All right. So that's another, again, benefits of using attributes instead of regular text. The ability to edit multiple information at once. All right. So we have a comment on the chat for people who are just arriving to the live stream. Today we're talking about attributes, sharing some of the benefits, again, so you can maybe if you don't use them, start implementing them in your regular workflows, right? So we have a comment on the chat. EA says, very nice. Hey, EA, if you can give us your real name, that would be awesome. So that way I can better connect with you, right? For folks that are new, my name is Irving. And I'm an architectural designer. Um, Also, I'm a AutoCAD certified by Autodesk. And I like to show up here each Thursday now at 10 p.m. with a new live stream, a new way to save you a little bit of time, either creating maybe dynamic blocks, creating custom macro commands, sharing tips and tricks, basically anything that I can share here to save you a little bit of time. I will be sharing it here on the channel. So EA says, Eddie. Hey, Eddie. Nice to meet you, Eddie. Welcome on board. I think you're new to the live streams. Um, so if that's the case, again, welcome aboard. Do you use attributes, Eddie? Let me know on the chat so that way I can see if you guys are utilizing all of the benefits of attributes or not. All right. Um, Let me see. All right. So, all right. So let's keep moving. So we're talking about attributes again, and trying to explain you all of its benefits, right? Um, so let's try to inspect this block again using different attributes. As you can see here on the property palette, we have an attribute value called title, which is right here. We have another attribute value called scale, and that's to put in the viewport scale, right, of this detail or drawing. We have another attribute value called D, that's for the number. And then we have a also a sheet number over here, as you can see. All right. So, but let's get inside this attribute. I mean, now, one of the differences between opening a regular block like this one that doesn't contain an attribute, as you can see, there is no attributes here. It's just a regular block. You can open that block by double clicking on it and clicking OK. However, if you are using attributes on a block, you're not gonna be able to go to the block editor because if you double click on it, you will be prompted with this attribute editor. So the way you get inside the block editor is by right clicking on it and say block editor. So here we are inside now this block, and we can actually inspect and select all of the different attributes, right? So we can learn about it, we can start understanding them. As you can see, that's an attribute definition. We have a comment on the chat for people who are just arriving to the live streams. We are learning about attributes, sharing some of its benefits. So you can start implementing them in your workflow, right? Or maybe if you are already using them, maybe sharing with you some advantages that you might not be utilizing or you might not be aware of. So we have a comment on the chat is Ramu. Hi Ramu, says, could you please tell how to take plane in AutoCAD? Take plane? Can you expand on your question, my friend Ramu? What do you mean by take plane? Uh, or maybe if other folks um, understood Ramu's question, maybe they can help us. All right, so let's keep moving. Okay, so let me close this so you can see better. All right, so we were inspecting some of these attributes definition, as you can see over here from the properties palette. Um, so if we scroll down, we will have this miscellaneous option right here, and those are some of the properties that we can tweak or change for an attribute. You can see that's not a that's not a regular text. These have multiple options that make this attribute or piece of text a very smart um, text where we can store data, right? We can basically store anything that we want. We can even add a link. We can add information. So let me explain you how we create attributes, right? There is the shortcut ATT to create an attribute definition. Um, and over here we have again all of the different options that we saw from the property palette that we just saw. Um, so we have a comment on the chat. Uh, Eddie says fields. Um, Fields are a different item, my friend Eddie. You can use fields inside attributes, but that's a different item or subject. Um, we can also go about fields maybe later on the Q&A option on the Q&A section of the live stream. Once we finish about explaining about attributes and all of its benefits. Um, but let's see. Eddie is asking, can you insert fields in attributes? Yes, that's correct. We can, and we can share you an example. Let me see. Let's see. So maybe I can share an example, Eddie, about attributes and fields on the Q&A section again after finishing this presentation about attributes. All right. Um, okay, thanks. All right. So again, that's how you create an attribute with this dialog box. You can start input the number. If you don't know what tag is, of course, you can just hover over and you will have this information identifies each occurrence of an attribute in the drawing. Enter the attribute tag using any combination of characters except spaces. So, for instance, tag, I can say over here title if I want. Again, that's all up to you and to your needs. But for the prompt, um, again, if you don't know, you can just hover over and it says specify the prompt that is displayed when you insert a block. So most of the time, this would be like a question or something. You can put over here title. No, you can put something like drawing title. Um, so that way, when you insert this block, you will get a question, something like drawing title, and then you can type your information. And for the default, that's the value that you use the most. For instance, with this block, let's say one of the most used drawings for myself is existing floor plan. Then I can put here existing floor plan, right? So that's my most used drawing title. And then of course I can select multiple properties such as text justification, text style, sizes, and so on. Over here, the important part is the lock position. Make sure that's checked. Um, Again, we already went over all of these different modes one by one here on the channel, so I'm not gonna repeat myself, but maybe I can um, point you on the right direction if you are interested about each and every mode of attributes. Let me find it. All right, so it's this one over here. AutoCAD best practices, how to create and edit attribute block definitions. So that's the video that we explain everything about attribute modes and all of these information. All right. So once you set up all of the attribute settings, you can simply click OK, and you will be prompted to specify a start point. Of course, I can select it over here or anywhere on your screen, and you can see the attribute is so tiny. Now, the beauty is that you can even you can edit your attribute even after inserted it from the properties palette. You can change the size or whatever. That's all up to you. But that's the attribute. That's how you create it. And then you can double click to edit its information as you are seeing it. All right. So we have a comment on the chat. Let me read it. It's Mike. Mike says, "What are AutoCAD proxy graphics mean?" Hi, Mike. I think you are new to the live streams. If that's the case, welcome aboard. We are meeting new folks over here. This is a new schedule. We used to show up each Sunday at 10 a.m. Now, due to personal difficulties, we are trying this new schedule every Thursday at 10 p.m., and that is Pennsylvania time in the United States. But I'm glad that new folks are joining the live stream, are finding us. So Mike says, is asking about proxy objects. And let me see if I can find a drawing with a proxy object. So why not? Should I stop here and no? I guess I'm gonna finish the presentation, Mike and guys, and then I can answer your question on the Q&A section, meaning after we finish talking about attributes, and then I have interesting questions um, from Eddie about fields, from Mike about proxy objects or proxy graphics, and so yeah, we can answer your question, guys, in a moment. All right, we're almost um, finishing about talking about attributes. Pedro Flores. Hey, Pedro Flores, you're not new to the live streams. I saw you before. Hope you're doing great. Pedro Flores says, "Where do you work, bro?" Um, so I work in an architecture firm. Architecture is my field, of course. I have a bachelor's in architecture. It's right here, actually. Um, but yeah, so I do all type of work related to architecture, such as developing schematic plans, construction documents, getting permits from the city, apply for all of these type of permits, coordination with consultants, right, such as structural, MEP or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineer. So yeah, I do all type of related task related to architecture again. Um, Now, I'm not a licensed architect yet, but I'm working towards that, right? I'm very close. I'm, almost there. But I cannot call myself an architect yet. Almost there, though, Pedro. Thanks for asking. Um, right, so let's keep moving so we can answer your questions, Mike's question, and Eddie's question. Um, okay. So attributes, here we go. You'll learn how to create an attribute definition, some of its benefits of using. I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna close and discard the changes. So we went over some of the benefits again of using attributes comparing to a regular text. um, now, um, let's let's do some Q&A, right? Let's talk about Eddie's question. Where was it? Okay. Insert fields in attributes. So that's a great question. And what I'm going to do to answer that question is I'm going to use an attribute, right? And the way I'm going to use is I'm going to get inside my block edit. I'm going to get right click and say block editor. And over here, I'm going to double click in this attribute. Why? Well, because I want to insert a field over here inside this attribute, and I'm gonna right click and say insert field. Now, before I start going through all of these different settings and everything for fields, for people who don't know what fields are, again, they are a smart piece of text that can be set up in a way that it will automatically update depending on your drawing changes, right? For instance, let's create a field or a smart text that will update by itself depending on the layout name, right? And this would be useful here because every time I create a new layout, I need to update my sheet number over here, right? To match my layout name. So, with that goal in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and let's see over here where we can find that information. There are so many different settings. So let's see where is that information now, right? System variable. Uh, so where is it now? I remember I saw it a long time ago, but let's see. Here we go. C tab. That's the system variable. We found it, guys. Again, you have to get used to it, going through all of these different field names and try to learn from them, right? But I created this before a long time ago, so I knew the name of this field name or variable. And again, it's under system variables. And over here is the C tab. As you can see right now, it says model and it's matching where I am right now in model space or in this tab called model. I'm gonna pick uppercase and then I'm gonna click OK. Now you can see that this is highlighted. Um, so that means this is a field, a smart piece of text that will update per my changes of my drawing, right? In this case, the layout name. So I'm gonna click OK. Uh, oops, it didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna click OK, and it's supposed to be there already. You can see it. All right. So I'm gonna close and save the changes, of course, you can see that nothing really happened. What I'm gonna do is um, refresh or sync these attributes using the ATT um, sync option or command, and I'm gonna select my attribute. Say yes, and boom, you can see now the field is reflecting or showing up in my attribute block. Now, look what happened now when I create a new layout. In this case, I'm gonna hold the control key on my keyboard, and I'm gonna simply drag it and release it like so to duplicate my layout. I'm gonna name this maybe 11 and press enter. Now you can see over here all of these again sheet names or sheet numbers don't match my layout. That's not a problem. I don't need to do anything because the next time I preview my drawing or print it or create a PDF, you can see that all of my layout names will update automatically. As you can see, all of them says S11, S11, because we are utilizing the benefit of using fields inside attributes and inside blocks. It's crazy, right? A field inside an attribute inside a block. But you can see again the power. All right. So, and of course, if you want to see the changes immediately, you can also use the regenerate command to again see all of those changes immediately. So, hopefully, Eddie, that answered your questions about can you insert fields and attributes? And of course, the answer is yes. And I just gave you an example. Um, so, hopefully, that helped you, Eddie. You're saying thank you. So now we have a couple more minutes before we wrap up today's live stream. For more of your questions, I'm not forgetting Mike question. What are AutoCAD proxy graphics? So in order to answer Mike's question, I'm gonna try to find a drawing with this error, right? So that way I can explain better. Okay. Um, okay, I think I found a drawing. Let me see. Yep, I found. All right, let's try to explain and answer Mike's question. All right. Um, okay. So, what are AutoCAD proxy graphics? So I'm gonna open a drawing right here. And we have this proxy information message. And that's what Mike is asking. Um, so, Mike, proxy objects or graphics are simply items that were created using a different program, right? For instance, AutoCAD Civil 3D, AutoCAD Architecture, and so on. So these items were created there, but somehow they ended up here inside your drawing, inside your AutoCAD drawing, right? And now that's why AutoCAD is warning you about these proxy objects. And if we expand this, we can see more information. You can see here is this drawing, the drawing you have open or reference contains custom objects created by an unavailable blah 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 application. You can see over here they even give you the product name. It says AutoCAD Civil 3D. And you can see I'm not using AutoCAD Civil 3D. I'm using the regular AutoCAD 2025. So yeah, so that's it. Give you the total number of proxies, number four items, and so on. But that's that's kind of um, a quick answer for your question, Mike. And basically, these objects, they get transferred to all of your drawings simply by copying a geometry. So, for instance, if this drawing is infected with proxy objects and you copy something with Control C, go to your new drawing and paste it there with Control V, um, you will immediately transfer these proxy objects, right? It's like a virus that you have to stop. All right. So let me show you how to stop that proxy error or object or graphic or whatever. We have created a command for that. Um, it's right here. Fix proxy objects. Um, so before we demonstrate it, we have a comment on the chat. Before we demonstrate the solution for proxy objects, Nico is in the chat, says, "Hi Irving, how can I write a custom command to select new created objects after the copy command?" Um, that's another good question, Nico. But first, let me finish with Mike, right? And then we'll jump to try to demonstrate your question here inside AutoCAD. All right, Nico, I think you are new also to the live streams. If that's the case, welcome aboard. We show up here each Thursday at 10 p.m., and that is Pennsylvania time in the United States. So, again, if your time is important, if you work using AutoCAD, or even if you want to learn AutoCAD, right? So this is your channel. We are all about sharing different ways to work more efficient in AutoCAD, right? We create custom macro commands, we create list programs, we create dynamic blocks, we share tips and tricks, anything that can save you time, right? Um, so let me. We have a couple more minutes before we wrap up today's live stream for your questions. But first, let me finish with Mike. Um, so the solution for the proxy objects, again, it's a quick macro command that we created. Is right here. So you saw that when I opened this drawing, I got the proxy objects message. Now, if we click our custom command proxy objects, um, and then when you open back up your drawing, is this one right here. So basically it creates a copy of your drawing but in a cleaner version. You can see also immediately the size difference from 2000 to about 800. So when you open that up, you see no more proxy objects anymore, right? So if you want to learn about that macro, again, we created on the channel. Let me go and show you really quick where to find it. um, let's see. You will find it, of course, under our series, the lazy macro series. And where is it? Okay, I need to click here to see all of them. So again, this is one of your favorite series from what I understand from all of the comments and the views that you guys give to these videos. It's one of your favorites. Uh, So where is that proxy object? Um, we have so many. It's hard to keep track. um, but I believe is the lazy perch. Yes, yes, that's right. So let me see. Uh, perch. Yep. It's this one over here. How I clean up AutoCAD drawings with one click. So that's the macro command to create again to fix proxy objects with one click. Um, right. Um, and let's see. We have time for a couple more questions. Let's see. All right, Mike. I think we already answered your question. Hopefully that helps, my friend Mike. Um, Now we have Nico question. How can I write a Mike says thanks. Hey Mike, glad I could help. Nico. Hi Irving. Okay, you wanna? How can I write a custom command to select new created objects after the copy command? Let me see if I understand your question. So if you copy, wait. Okay, sorry. All right, Nico. So I think what you wanna do is so I'm gonna quickly create a macro command. The way I'm gonna do it is draw this polyline and drag it into my tool palette right here. And I'm gonna right click properties, new command, say Nico, copy. I'm gonna create and erase this. So you said after you copy, so you use the copy command, enter, select your object, right, enter. So I'm gonna quickly test that. So let's say copy, select your object, and boom. Now you said that you want to select the new created object, right, Nico? So meaning you want to select this one. So you will do it by selecting the last object. So if you do p select and then enter and then last and then enter, let's try that out really quick. Again, we're doing this live. That's the beauty of doing a live stream. We'll have technical difficulties and so on, but let's see. So no, wait. Select. So we need 2 clicks here. Wait. So let's do 2. Okay. So The way you do it, Nico, is by using the p select. For instance, if you copy this object or this text, right? You copy there. Now, if you use the p select command and say last and press enter, you can see that now you are selecting that last object, not the previous object. Of course, you can also select the previous object if you say, so I'm gonna copy this again, CO for copy. If you say P select, enter, and you say P for previous, you're gonna select now this one over here. So again, you have to select or use the P select with the last option, my friend. P select, L for last, enter, enter, and you can see that you selected it um, the last object. Did that help, Nico? Let me know on the chat. We're almost there. We're almost wrapping up these live streams. Let's see. Lavo says, hello, sir. Hey, Lavo. I think you're new to the live streams. If that's the case, welcome aboard. We're meeting new folks on this new schedule. We used to show up each Sunday at 10 a.m. for many years. As you can see, doing these live streams. Again, we've been doing this for so long. I think it's been maybe 3 years of doing live streams, maybe, or 2 years. Again, always on Sundays at 10 a.m. But we're changing our schedule, due to some personal difficulties. So Labon says, please, how can I make a live stream like this one? Hey, Lavo. So to do a live stream, I mean, there are many ways, right? But the easiest way is to pay for a live stream service or live stream provider. There are multiple ones like StreamYard, EV Max, and so on. But you pay for this service monthly or yearly, and then you can use your browser, your Internet Explorer or Chrome or whatever you use, and then log in with your information, and that way you can share your screen, and so on. The way I'm doing it, that's the way I'm doing it. That's the easiest way. Of course, it's not free, but it's easy to set up, right? It's simple, and you can start doing your live streams. Hopefully that answered your question, Lavo. Nico says, your videos have helped me a lot. Thank you. Hey, Nico. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad that you made it to the live streams. Mike says, thanks. AutoCAD Electric. Wait, is that you, Lavo? Do you change your name? Lavo now it says AutoCAD and electric. Please, how can I make a live stream like this one on my own live? You are using which software, please? I'm using again a live stream service called EV Max. So yeah. Nico says, I've tried the last command, but it only selects one object. It doesn't work with multiple objects. Right, Nico, because if you think about it, right? Let's see, tutorial. If you think about it, when you copy an object, if you only copy one object, how it's gonna select all of them, right? Last will select only the last object again, Maybe try using P for previous. That might work for you, Nico. But always, you can. This is an interesting one, Nico. Maybe I can help you create whatever you want to create. I'm sure there are other ways to create your macro instead of just selecting the previous objects. Let's say we can use layers, right? Or to select your objects. Let's say the objects you want to select, they are on a specific layer. Boom, we can utilize or select all of the objects on your specific layer. So again, there are multiple ways to create your macro, Nico. But that's an interesting one. Interesting one. Maybe you can send it to me, right? Um, with a more detailed explanation, and maybe we can do an entire live stream about it, right? If I feel that it's gonna help um, all of you folks, and that would be, you will find that if that happens, you'll find it over here on our series called Lazy Questions. Here is where we help you folks. You send me your question, and I did an entire video uh, creating your blog, fixing your problems, creating a macro, and so on. All right. Um, let's see. Mike says, I'm new to AutoCAD. Okay, we have to wrap up. We have many questions today. That's great. I'm very happy for that. But we have to stop. um, I'm new to AutoCAD. Can I get for free or cheaper? Also, is proxy graphics okay with someone else template? You usually work with a DWG or DW file. No, it's not okay, my friend, to have proxy objects on a template. That's a bad thing. You know why? Because you don't fix the proxy objects. You'll encounter some of the worst problems later on. So I see some of the folks at the office where I work, where they call me for these weird problems, xrefs disappearing, xrefs not showing the way they're supposed to show, and so on. And guess what? At the end, I see that they have proxy objects. Once I clean the drawing and remove these proxy objects, everything is back to normal. But yeah, I won't recommend it to have it a proxy object on a template. Oh, your question says, can I get for free? Yeah, you can get AutoCAD 30 days trial. Just Google it, AutoCAD trial, and it's free. Yeah, you can try it for free. Uh, Plus, if I use AutoCAD 2020, can I open file with 2025? Yes, you can, my friend. You just have to set up your AutoCAD in the correct way. And that is, let me show you really quick. And this would be the last question for today's live stream. Okay, so all you have to do is go to the options, Mike, and over here there would be an open and save option, where make sure the save as is something like 2000 AutoCAD 2010 or 13 or something like that. So that way when you hit apply and okay, when you work on your drawings and save it and close it, this file can open in any version of AutoCAD because you saved it as a 2010 file. All right. Okay, guys. So that was awesome. Today's presentation. As always, hopefully, I'm going to see you here next Thursday at 10 p.m. All right, with a new live stream. I don't know what we're going to do next week. Maybe create a blog, create a custom command macro. Maybe Nico send me his question, and then we can do an entire live stream. Who knows? All right. So, okay. So, have a wonderful rest of the day or the night for some of your folks.